It's Georgia Brandon's Real Big Time Podcast.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Tell your grandma. It's time for
George and Brandon's Real Big Time Podcast.
It's the most important part in the world.
Welcome to George and Brandon's Real Big Time Podcast.
Woo.
Again, here for another week. We had to take last week off.
Yeah, George almost died.
I almost died. I almost shat myself to death.
Yeah, isn't that great? Dysentery in 2026.
I honestly felt like I was on the Oregon Trail. I was like, just couldn't stop drinking the dirty water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tasty. It's great. I've never had a stomach thing last, like, tops 48 hours.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, just, the first day is the worst. And then, but this was just like days of feeling.
Days of diarrhea is awful.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, I think I've only had maybe like two days of like on the toilet, maybe three, but like you were saying, it was like 6 for
Dude, on Thursday, every hour since midnight to like 9 a.m. I was shitting.
Did you have your DS with you?
No, I was just crying.
It's my birthday.
Yeah. Jules bring you like a candle. It was just a candle for you to blow out.
Luckily, the day after was the day that I felt the worst. It was after Naeem came over. What the fuck did you do to me, Naeem?
Damn, dude.
He
He tried to poison you, man.
I mean, he's laced people with PCP before, so maybe he did that to me. Although that was when he was a much younger man.
He's trying to give you a birthday trip, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's nice. That's nice. I think God was trying to show me something too. I had to go on a vision quest on the toilet, dude. I was like sweating in there, dude. It was bad.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I'd take several showers throughout the day just because I was like, I'm gonna get shit on the couch.
That's crazy. I wonder what you fucking. What happened?
I don't know, because like the week before, I had like I like got up in the middle of the night and I like chugged some water that was next to me, and it was like old water. But that was like I don't know. I feel like it would have happened. You know what I mean?
How old was it?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Damn, that might be it.
Old water.
Old water.
Know, dude.
Old water can get you.
I know. Dude, one time when I was little, I had diarrhea so bad that it felt like my insides were gonna fall out. So I just like stayed on the toilet until like my parents were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I can't because my organs are gonna fall out." So she had to call my pediatrician, my mom, and they had to talk. She had to talk me through. Because I was like so afraid because I couldn't listen to my parents. My parents were like, "No, dude, it's fine," and I was like, "No, you don't know." You don't fucking know. I've been the first person to shit his fucking organs.
Get the doctor on the phone right now. You better tell that doctor to tell me to get off the toilet.
My parents might have coddled me too much. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Calling the doctor.
Calling the doctor to get you off the toilet is nuts. Yeah.
And I knew it was my doctor because I recognized her. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like they just called my uncle and was tell this kid he can shit. What an embarrassing life I've had. Not really, but a lot of poop related stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what life is, poop.
Life's a lot of poop.
You gotta poop. Poop.
Well, at least you weren't, pooping yourself, like.
I know. Yeah. I've
made it to the toilet.
It's been a while since I've shit myself.
Yeah, that's good.
It's been a while. And it's always usually like a little shart situation. Never like a full on shit in my pants.
Yeah, I had a shart situation maybe like a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just laying on the couch.
At least you were in public.
No, I was in public, but I was laying on the couch just, thought it was a, classic
normal
fart.
Yeah.
Shart. Yeah.
Were you like also a little sick?
No. I wasn't really sick. It was just like,
it registered as a fart.
It just registered, and it was just, it was gross.
Yeah.
And, changed. Luckily, nobody was home. Just my cats witnessed it, had to look at them. In the face, but
they were judging you.
Yeah,
you shit yourself.
I was like, don't you fucking tell your mom.
Dude, I sharted in front of Jules one time.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and she was really nice about it. She like got me fresh underwear. Yeah. It's like I just shit myself. I was genuinely surprised when it happened.
That's nice.
Because like my buddies always talk about it like it's a normal thing, and I'm like, that's not normal. But the older I get, the more I hear stories of you guys shitting yourselves. So I guess it is kind of normal,
I think it's a part of life.
It is a part of life. Peeing yourself, I can understand more.
Yeah, but you don't go. This is gonna be a pee.
There's no such thing as a pee fart.
A pee fart. You don't fart out your
fart.
dick. Yeah.
Dude, that'd be so funny if you did though.
Maybe that's what. Well, that's kind of what it is when you're like, oh, I'm done peeing. You know what I mean? When you're like peeing and you're like,
the last little drops.
Yeah, and you think like you're done, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and it's like, oh, there was a little bit more than a drop in there.
Yeah.
You know, it was a little bit more cut off. So
you ever like have a really bad hangover and you're peeing for so long that you like get tired?
Yeah,
and you're just like, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. And you like start going like this.
Put your fucking hand on the wall.
Yeah. You feel fucking sick. You're like, stop.
We were just talking about how you had a bad bomb recently. We both had, I guess, bad bombs recently. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a bad mic, a bad bomb. I told one guy in the crowd, I was like, come on, man, just shut the fuck up. I was like, dude, I'm just trying to do jokes. I literally said,
you crashed out for a second.
Just trying to do jokes, man. Could you stop? Because he literally was just like, that's a bad joke. I was like, yo, could you stop,
so
dude?
Annoying. Do you know if it was another comic? Just a guy in the crowd?
It was just a random dude. Yeah. It was just I called him, he looked like Sinbad, so I called him Sinbad. Mm-hmm. But everybody was so young, I don't think they knew who Sinbad was, so nobody laughed. So yeah, Sinbad, shut up. Like, what?
He was in Shazam.
Yeah.
Or Kazam. Do you know that?
Kazam. Yeah.
That mandala effect thing?
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. I really have memories of Shazam, I guess. Kazam's the real one, right? Which one's the real one?
I think it's
Kazam. Yeah.
It's Kazam. Yeah.
I wonder why some people have false memories of that.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was just bad, you know. It was just a bad...
Just kind of really make you think about your life.
Yeah. Makes you think. It was like, ugh.
Nobody likes me.
You know, just went home disappointed.
My sister used to tease me when I was little, and she used to say that people with Down syndrome didn't know they had Down syndrome. And she would say that I had Down syndrome. And honestly,
I kind of
and then sometimes after open mics, I'm like, am I like, is that what's happening right now? Do I not know that something's like terribly wrong with me? Is everyone just humoring me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fun. I've actually had that conversation with Megan where I'm like, maybe we just both are really like...
You guys are both Make-A-Wish kids?
Yeah.
And everyone's just being really nice to you.
Everyone's really nice. And they're like, oh, it's nice that they're together, you know?
They're going to die together.
Who cares? Just let them go, you know? Just let them be together.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I get that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, leave a comment. Do I have Down syndrome? What's wrong with me?
Yes.
Enough. Yes, we keep telling you. This isn't cute anymore. Oh, man. But yeah, I guess it's just another twofer today. Just you and me hanging out. We are for next week, we have a fun guest. Holly Huff is coming. She's actually doing our podcast before the LGM pod, so we got her first.
Pretty sick. Even though she comes out on theirs before. She's technically on ours first. So.
Fuck, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out Tuesday just to fucking...
Like, no, we had her on first.
Oh, yeah, but let's get started with our first topic, shall we?
Yeah. News.
Real big time news bringing you to bed. Big headlines. The stories are grand.
This is actually Brendan's voice.
This is my voice.
He did this.
Me recording it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's like, let me show you my black voice. And I was like, all right.
Exact quotes. I honestly, because we usually bring the weirdest stories maybe you've never heard of, but this one you might have heard of because it kind of spread pretty quickly because it's so crazy. A professional cornhole player and quadruple amputee is arrested for murder.
Yeah.
Yes. Dayton Weber, 27, is accused of killing a man.
By the way, Dayton Weber is a perfect name for a professional cornhole player.
It is, yeah. And a quadruple amputee.
Dayton.
Yeah, because no way he can have webbed anything.
Except his dick.
Yeah, right. Is accused of killing a man in the front seat of his car during an argument on Sunday in his hometown of La Plata, I guess Maryland, yes, MD. About 30 miles south of Washington, D.C., according to Charles County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office said in a press release that passengers in the backseat saw Weber shoot Bradrick Michael Wells, also 27, before he...
Wait, is Brad short for Bradrick?
Bradrick? In this case, maybe.
I always thought it was Bradford.
I think they're just throwing names together.
Bradrick.
Bradrick.
Terrible name.
Rick.
Deserve to die, maybe.
Honestly, you could go by Rick.
Yeah,
or Brad.
over Bradrick. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Bradrick Michael Wells. Before
R.I.P.
BMW.
Ooh.
Before...
Wait, they were in a BMW?
No, it's just that's his initials.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I was like, wow, they can make good money in the professional cornhole league.
So this is a crazy part, though. So the passengers in the backseat said they saw him shoot, right, Weber shoot Bradrick Michael Wells before he pulled over and asked them to help pull the victim out of the car.
Wait, he was driving?
Yeah.
He was, I thought he was the passenger.
No. He shot the guy, was driving.
Wow.
The amputee guy was driving, which is
wow,
cool, I guess.
As a fully limbed man, I don't know if I would have that type of dexterity, dude. That's crazy.
He was driving and shot the guy.
I know.
And
also, not for nothing, was pulling out the gun at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And was arguing.
There's no way, and I'm sorry to the nub community, there's no way that she could like discreetly get the gun. You know what I mean?
And drive, dude?
It's like, what are you doing? Nothing. Getting jerky.
That is insane.
And you know what's crazy too? When I first heard this story, I thought that maybe he had like a fancy robot arm. You know what I mean? Like a cool prosthetic.
Yeah.
No, shoots with the nubs.
Yeah, I saw the
video of him shooting.
He shoots with I think he has like one little...
He has got a little thumb,
a thumb
thumb on his nub.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So he asked the passengers who were in the backseat who witnessed him shoot the guy to help him pull the victim out of the car.
And you got to at that point, right? Because he's got a gun.
Come on, and help out the ADA.
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't want to be ableist. That's fucked up.
Apparently they refused, though, and left. Yeah. They just walked away, you know?
Yeah.
At which point Weber fled with the victim still in the car.
Okay, so he just had a dead guy.
So he just had a dead guy in the car.
He was weekend at burning. With his nose. Sunglasses. He's got it attached to strings. Oh no.
He's doing this, waving at the guy.
I think if you kill somebody, you should be allowed to be made fun of for any reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's what that's my defense for this. Nearly 2 hours later. Nearly 2 hours later, a resident in Charlotte Hall, Maryland, about 14 miles away, called police to report a body in a yard. The sheriff's office said responders identified Wells and pronounced him dead at the scene. So he just dumped the body out in some random dude's yard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then apparently he went to the hospital for his injury. So I guess he injured himself getting the guy's body out.
You know what he should have done?
What?
Put his guts inside little bean bags for the cornhole. Perfect disposal, dude. Awesome my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot of cornholes.
I know. You know, he's in the pro circuit. I'm sure he goes through dozens of them.
Yeah.
Is it BYOB, bring your own bag for cornhole, or is it like a standard?
I feel like there's a standard.
Yeah, you can't bring your own.
Yeah, you can't bring your own.
Although
bag.
you can bring your own bowling ball, which is interesting.
Can't you bring your own weight thing? You can have a weight thing too.
For what?
Because like beer, because some people throw with beer all the time. So you can have your own weight in your hand for beer to count for the weight of a glass of beer. Do you know that?
Wait, so the official rules of cornhole are that you actually have to have a drink in your hand?
No, but you can.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Because definitely Mr. Nubbins, he couldn't have done that.
That's true.
He just had like a coaster attached. Oh, no. Again, he's an asshole.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently, okay, they found his car 100 miles away. They spotted Weber's vehicle at a gas station, used surveillance footage to track him down. Arrested him in a local hospital seeking treatment for a medical issue. He was missing his arms and legs.
Guys, what? That's really stupid.
Oh man, that was fun. All right, and then so yeah, he's going to be charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and other related charges. And let's see what else. I think they said in the statement that I saw somewhere that they will make sure that the jail will be ADA compliant.
Honestly, it doesn't seem like it should be. It seems like this guy needs some fucking obstacles. You know what I mean? You can't make it too easy for this guy.
Yeah,
this guy's disability has actually turned him into an apex predator, which is what happened.
Yeah,
he overcompensated.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. So at 10 months old, he was diagnosed with a bacterial infection so aggressive that he was given last rites.
Wow, he's a survivor.
And they actually
a miracle baby.
Yeah, 3% chance of living.
Honestly,
and they were able to save him by rid of the infections by amputating his arms and legs.
What do we know about this guy he murdered? Because that sounds like he's God sent.
Yeah. Apparently he did
like Simon Birch.
He had motocross. He was a wrestler.
Jesus, I've not done any of those things.
Yeah, and then he became this professional cornhole player.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, that's kind of a waste in itself.
I know, but imagine making a good amount of money being a professional cornhole player. That's crazy. Yeah. Even $50K a year as a professional cornhole player would be amazing. But he'll never buy his new arms and legs.
Do you think they have to? I was thinking about this. Like, how do you think they cuff him?
I guess they have to hog tie him. Yo, interesting. How do they cuff a guy with no hands?
Yeah, it's true.
Do we have any police officer friends so we could find out? Yeah, they just had to hold him.
They're just gonna hold him. Yeah, put your arms behind your arms behind your back. Oh.
Yeah, I guess you know what they do? They could cross them like this and then kind of sort of wrap it up.
No, I don't think it would reach.
Ah, you're right. It's not long enough.
Yeah, look at those. It's not reaching.
No, it's not reaching. Not reaching.
Do you think they cuff his finger nubs?
Definitely. I mean, they need to paralyze that thing.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
You know, killing somebody. You know, you overcome anything, you can kill somebody.
If you really put your mind to it.
Yeah. You can learn how to shoot a gun in this country.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I wonder.
It's an American dream.
That's honestly probably what the forefathers intended when they said right to bear arms. It's just like some people have no arms, they're going to have to bear some new ones. You know what I mean? So I think
Absolutely.
A true patriot. What was his name again? Bradrick? No, that was his victim.
That was his victim.
Bradrick.
Dayton Weber.
Wow. Holy shit. Honestly, I could see this guy having a reality TV show one day. You know what I mean?
I mean, he could have.
We don't know. The trial could
go in his favor.
We could find out some things about Bradrick.
Yeah, like because it's like he could be like, I felt like I was defenseless.
Yeah, honestly, at any point, a quadriplegic person can kill you and claim self-defense.
That's what I mean. How was I supposed to protect myself?
No, I also think that I saw something that he was like abusive to one of his ex-girlfriends. So I don't think he's a good guy. I don't think.
Well, Oscar what was his name? Oscar Pistorius.
Oh, Pistorius.
Yeah, Pistorius. Yeah, Oscar Pistorius. Couldn't run, so this guy he killed his girlfriend. So this guy couldn't.
Oh,
run
man.
and fucking kill his friend, you know?
Yeah. Don't kill anybody.
Hey, we
even
gotta
if
watch
you're
out for these
quadriplegic.
amputees, dude.
Yeah,
They're fucking-
Listen, I didn't trust him before. I definitely don't trust him now. I knew my mom was wrong when she was like, "Don't stare at him." It's like, oh, you gotta watch him. They have a gun.
That's
Wow.
the shoot. It is impressive.
Holy shit.
Give him that.
I think maybe this guy and the subject of our next story would like each other, honestly.
Yeah.
This is going to be our next segment. Segment. Real big time history.
Real big time history.
Oh, what a sight.
Brendan again. He's doing his black voice, he said.
No, sorry. It's real big time history.
Oh, yeah. Real big time history. Today we're going way back to 2001.
Ooh.
Every
Never forget.
Yeah, never forget. Exactly. Every historical tragedy has its heroes and its survivors. These are the people who walk out of the smoke to tell us what it was like inside the heart of the fire. In the years following September 11th, 2001, one woman emerged as the most powerful voice of those who made it out. Her name was Tania Head. Have you heard about this?
Tania Head. No, I don't think so.
Her story was so visceral and so detailed that it became a cornerstone of the 9/11 narrative. She was a woman who had lost everything, yet found the strength to lead others. But as we look back at the events that unfolded between 2001 and 2007, we find a story that challenges everything we think we know about empathy, trauma, and the truth.
Ooh.
To understand the impact Tania Head had, you have to understand the state of New York City in the early 2000s. There was a massive effort to support the families of those who had passed away. However, the people who actually survived the collapse of the towers often felt like they were living in a parallel reality. They had health problems, psychological trauma, and a crushing sense of survival guilt. Tania Head appeared in this community like a guardian angel. She joined an online support group, and immediately stood out because her experience was so much more intense than everyone else's. While many survivors had been on lower floors or in nearby buildings, Tania claimed she was right at the impact zone. She told her fellow survivors that she was on the 78th floor of the South Tower. This is in the sky lobby where hundreds of people were waiting for elevators when the second plane struck. Tania described the air being sucked out of her lungs by the change in pressure. She spoke about being thrown through the air and crashing against a marble wall. She vividly recounted waking up and smelling her own skin burning as she crawled through the wreckage. But the most moving part of her story was about a man named Welles Crowder. Crowder is a real-life hero known as the Man in a Red Bandana. He was an equities trader who stayed behind to lead people to safety, and he died when the towers fell. Tania claimed that Crowder himself had saved her life. She said that he used a cloth to put out the flames on her clothes and told her to stay safe and awake. This detail made her story sacred. To doubt Tania was to doubt the heroics of the man who had sacrificed everything.
Yeah.
Beyond her survival, Tania carried the story of her profound personal loss. She spoke constantly about Dave, her fiancé. Dave worked in the North Tower. Tania shared that their last conversation happened at 8:30 that morning. Dave had called her to see if she wanted to go grab coffee. She told him she had a meeting, said I loved you, and hung up. And that was the last time they had ever spoke.
Ooh.
Yeah. She described their relationship as a crazy love story. They finished each other's
Sandwiches.
sentences. They were the same person, she told her friends.
Gross.
And she spoke about a beautiful private wedding ceremony that they had in Hawaii. She described Dave dancing in a grass skirt and the two of them standing in a circle of orchids on the beach. Every year on their anniversary, Tania would go down to the reflection pool and leave a New York City coffee cup for Dave. She said it was a reminder of the coffee date that they never got to have.
Interesting.
The combination of survival and loss made her a super survivor. She wasn't a victim. She was a hero, a widow, and a witness all at once.
Damn.
Tania used her story to build a platform. She noticed that the survivors were disorganized and lacking voice in rebuilding Ground Zero. She partnered with another survivor, Jerry Bogus, to form the World Trade Center Survivors Network. Tania was tireless. She was an energetic booster for the community. She was wealthy, well-educated, and incredibly articulate. She worked 24 hours a day. She helped the network gain official recognition. She organized walks and memorial services. And because of her efforts, survivors felt like they were finally allowed to visit the site and pay their respects. As her influence grew, Tania became the president of the organization. She was the one the media turned to for quotes. She was the one who met with mayors and dignitaries. She led tours of Ground Zero for some of the most powerful people in the world. She would stand at the edge of the pit and tell her story to crowds and tourists, explaining that she finally found the purpose in life by sharing her survival with others. Yet, within the network, some people began to notice a different side of Tania. She was fiercely protective of her position. If she felt someone was a threat to her leadership, she would turn the community against them. Jerry Bogas, her co-founder, was the first one to experience this. Tania began telling...
Oh, sorry. No, it's interesting.
Yeah. Gets deeper.
Yeah.
Tania began telling other members that Jerry wasn't representing them aggressively enough.
Mm-hmm.
She manipulated the board and eventually orchestrated a meeting where Jerry was voted out of his own organization.
Nice.
Yeah, which is exactly what you would want, like in a survivors organization.
Yes,
You know, to like a lot of pettiness
to vote somebody.
And
out,
honestly, I don't know. Do they need a president? I don't.
He didn't survive hard enough.
No.
No.
I mean, she was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She also formed an incredibly close bond with a survivor named Linda. Linda had been throughout her own horrific experience, but she felt her story was insignificant compared to Tania's. Tania would ask Linda to support her through flooding therapy, which involved playing tape recordings of Tania's supposed memories of the attack. In these recordings, Tania would scream about the plane coming and describe the decapitation of her assistant. Linda would sit there holding Tania up and absorbing the secondary trauma. It reached a point where Linda was having nightmares about buildings collapsing in on her, even though she hadn't been in the towers where they fell.
Sorry, it's so funny. Sorry, it's so crazy. Fucking head.
Tania would tell Linda she was selfish if she tried to stop the therapy sessions. She used her trauma as a weapon to maintain emotional control over her friends.
Yeah, it's crazy.
By 2007, Tania Head was a celebrity in the 9/11 community. But small, strange details were beginning to pile up. A few people noticed that while Tania claimed her arm had been nearly severed and was covered in skin grafts, the scars didn't quite look like burn marks. She always wore long sleeves, even in the heat of summer. She claimed that she lost her wedding ring in the towers and that Tiffany's had replaced it for free, which seemed like an odd detail for the company to offer. Then there was the dog, Elvis. Tania talked...
So funny. It's 105 degrees out, Tania. Okay.
I just like to be cozy.
You're really sweating in that turtleneck. Okay.
I have an iron deficiency. Leave me alone. Tania talked about her dog constantly, but in all the years of her friendship, the people had known her, nobody had ever seen the dog. She always said that her maid, Lupe, was walking him. One day, a friend got right in her face and asked her if the dog actually existed. Tania just stared at her and insisted that, of course, she had a dog. The biggest red flag, however, came from the story of Dave. A friend of Tania's decided to do some research into the fiancé who died. Dave was a real person. He had worked in the towers and he had died on 9/11. But in all the newspaper articles and memorial tributes to Dave, there was not a mention of Tania, no mention of a fiancé, no mention of a trip to Hawaii.
No,
as if she didn't exist.
It was so secret.
In this world, yeah.
It was such a secret ceremony.
He goes to a different World Trade Center. He doesn't go here. The end began when the New York Times decided to do a profile on Tania for the 6th anniversary. A reporter named David Dunlap wanted to write a piece about how the super survivor was doing 6 years later. Dunlap started fact-checking the basics of her life. He called Merrill Lynch, where she claimed to be a senior executive. They had no record of her. He checked with Harvard and Stanford, where she claimed to have business degrees. They also had never heard of her. As the Times started asking questions, Tania's behavior became manic. She told her friends that the reporters were harassing her and going to print lies. She claimed that she was suicidal. On the morning she was supposed to meet the families of her dead coworkers at the St. Regis Hotel, she collapsed in the street, crying that she tried to save them all. Her friends rushed her aside, shielding her from the cruel reporters. Tania eventually hired a lawyer to stop the story. Her friend Janice went with her to the legal meeting, but waited in the lobby. Through the door, Janice heard the lawyer repeating Tania's true story back to her. The lawyer talked about how Tania had only been in the building for one day and had only known Dave for a few months. Janice sat in the waiting room in total shock. The narrative was falling apart. On September 29th, 2007, the New York Times published the truth. Tania was not Tania Head. She was Alicia Esteve Head, a woman from a wealthy family in Barcelona, Spain.
Barcelona.
On September 11th, 2001, Alicia was not in South Tower. She was not even in New York. She was sitting in a classroom in Barcelona, Spain, working on her degree. She never worked for Merrill Lynch. She had never been engaged to Dave. She had never even met Wells Crowder, the guy in the red bandana. She moved to New York years after the attack and spent months researching the event. She had studied the floor plans of the towers. She had read the biographies of the victims. She had joined the online groups to learn how real survivors spoke and felt. She had literally downloaded the trauma of tragedy, and she had watched on television and wore it like a costume.
Nice.
Yeah. The community was devastated. For survivors like Linda and Janice, this was a second betrayal. They had shared their most private pains with this woman who was essentially a tourist in their grief. The most haunting question was why? Why had she done this? She had never stole money. She never claimed government funds. She didn't even, she did it for the identity. In a city that revered 9/11 survivors, she found a way to be the most important person in the room. She wanted to be needed. She wanted to be a hero. After the article was published, Alicia disappeared. She was reportedly seen in Barcelona in 2012, but has never offered an apology. She never explained herself to the people whose lives she nearly destroyed. Just went back to fuck off to Spain.
God, what a piece of shit.
It's crazy, dude.
What a very New York thing to do, though.
I know. Yeah. She's a very New York woman, all the way from Barcelona.
Just to claim, just to be like, I was there.
It's so weird. There was that guy, wasn't the guy on what was that show? The League? Wasn't there an actor from The League who said he was at 9/11, but then it turned out that he wasn't?
I don't know, really?
Yeah. Stand-up comic too.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. It's crazy. What is that?
I think it's like an identity, there's some, there's like the need to be like, I was there, especially like of the time too. Like people.
I don't think I could ever keep up with that.
That lie? No.
No, dude.
No.
My
I was there.
assistant was decapitated. I saw Brendan's head fly off, all right? You're going to tell me I was wrong?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me I wasn't there? And the thing is, it's like in her mind, like the fucking nose of the plane hit her, dude.
Yeah, it flew back. I was like, oh, that's bullshit. As soon as you said it, I was like, that's no way. And then the whole bullshit story about, in the grass skirt and he was doing, I'm like, no, it wasn't. Hawaii.
That's so disgusting to like look up a guy.
Yeah. Ugh. It's a grief. What is it called? Grief. Man, it's some type of weird thing. There's like
a jealousy or something.
It's like it's a weird type of attention seeking.
Yeah.
Where it's like people use grief or whatever, like
kind of like Munchausen's by proxy, but not to your kid or something.
Yeah, exactly. But it's to yourself. Yeah, like people, like you feel like the victim.
Yeah.
And people feel like sorry for you. Yeah.
It's like you see interviews with this woman. I got this from a documentary I watched on YouTube called "She Wasn't There." I recommend anybody watch it who's interested in this subject because you get to hear her and she just kind of talks like this. You know what I mean? She's like, and it's just like no one thought like, what? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and also making up a dog. You know what I mean? Like that. I think just like. A person, not kleptomaniac. What's a habitual liar? You know what I mean? They just like have to do it. Yeah. Compulsively.
Yeah, dude. That's so, it is. And like, just to be like, I'll never get caught, Like with a story, like that is crazy to think, like to lie about being in 9/11.
And then as the towers were collapsing, I found a piece of rubble and I surfed it down to the ground like a windsurfer.
Yeah.
And a firefighter caught me in his arms. And he was Rudy Giuliani.
I was 6 years old on 9/11 and I was in the towers.
I was on the plane. I came out the front windshield.
Yes.
And I landed on this woman's arms. Yes. And that's why she was burned. Because I was on fire.
Yeah, but she died catching me.
She died catching me.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and that's why you can't ask her.
She goes to another World Trade Center.
And you can't question it because she's a hero.
She died on a different 9/11.
She died on a different 9/11.
It's crazy because there are two 9/11s. There's one in, I think, Venezuela. Anyway, there was a coup.
The real 9/11.
A real 9/11, yeah, not this fake. So much trouble. You know what's crazy? I've noticed at a couple open mics recently, people getting offended at 9/11 jokes.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
Can't.
You weren't there. I don't know. Anyway, couple fraudsters today. One man with no arms and another woman with no shame. You know?
Yeah, but this guy, at least he's
not even a fraudster.
He's not a fraudster.
Piece of shit.
He's just two pieces of shit. Yeah, just two pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But at least he did it,
At least he did it. He had the balls to do what he said he did.
Yeah. He went all for it. You know what I mean? He's
nice. All right. Yeah, that's our pod.
Yeah.
Check us out every Thursday, unless I have food poisoning again for fucking 6 days. Hopefully that won't ever happen again, because I'm sure I will die the next time. Brendan, check out your pod, Basically Married. That comes out what?
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Check that out.
Check out Caked Up Comedy.
Yeah. Ort Leaves
every Friday.
Yeah.
Plays and Players every
first Tuesday.
First Tuesday. And check out Brotherly Laughs.
Yeah, go check. I think they have a show April 16th.
April 16th. I'm going to be opening.
That's right. I'll be at a Sarah Bell show April 30th.
At the one next door?
No, at
at
Helium.
Oh, at Helium.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
And we're constantly we're out around.
We're doing shit.
We're doing stuff. Check out the unemployment stream on Fridays, and checked out Naeem Ali Saves the World weekly as well when that comes out. But yeah, thanks for listening, and check us out next time. Bye. Don't fake to be a person that survived 9/11. And also don't be a quadriplegic that
kills.
Yeah.
It's Georgia Brandon's Real Big Time Podcast.
Yeah, tell your friends. Tell your grandma.
It's time for
George and Brandon's Real Big Time.